Go ahead.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will have a roll call of the members. Angie? Present. Ron? Present. I'm present. We do have a quorum, so we can have a meeting and get that started. I'm going to turn the meeting over to these gentlemen up here so that they can review what our construction problem is going to be. So it's all yours, guys.
All right, so we'll just start out with some introductions. I'm Drew Booth with Patburn Construction.
I'm Joe Timbrell. I'm also Patburn.
Will Skinner, Pat Bird, all the owners of the company.
Yeah, us three own the company, so we tend to know what's going on, you know, with everything that, you know, all the jobs that we have going. We do have around 70, 80 employees. A lot of them are from the Kingman area, so we've already been able to fit this project in, no problem having enough staff, so we shouldn't have any issues, that sort of thing at all. You guys want to introduce it all from Civil Tech?
Yes. My name is Ben Townsend. I'm with Civil Tech. Ray and I designed the project together.
Raymond Bittner. I'll be out there if needed, and then, yeah, questions on design, submittals.
Ben Tillman, survey manager, helping with staking.
And we've got a guy in the audience there too, don't we?
Yeah, Jesse Tillman with the survey department. So
Okay.
we'll do some stakes today if you like. We can talk
Sure.
about it.
Was that you guys down there when we were pulling in? Were you guys?
Yeah, I saw you over there at the front end of town.
And are you guys local, or where do you guys have to travel from?
I'm in Prescott.
Okay. Okay, so we did bring an agenda, but, you know, maybe at the end, feel free to ask any questions at all. So we've already gone through, or does anybody from Chloride want to introduce themselves at all? Or, you know, are you guys going to have one go-to person that we need to talk to on a basis, or how does that communication going to work best with you, Kathy? Or
Probably. So I'm Kathy. If you don't know me, Kathy Butts. I'm with Chloride Water. I'm the office manager. And I can probably coordinate with Lau if necessary. Lau's probably going to be handling the field if there's anything necessary in the field. But I can handle the communication.
Okay, so that's one thing that maybe, you know, chain of command as far as any questions, is that gonna go through Civil Tech first and then to you guys, or I just don't wanna be getting,
Yeah.
you guys saying one
Two
thing
different
and then,
things.
you know,
Right.
how do you guys wanna work that out?
Should go through that.
So tech.
Yeah.
Whatever Kathy wants, and we're on board for construction, observation, and administration, and we're happy to help with whatever Kathy wants us to do. If she feels like it'd be better to come straight to us, then we're
Yes.
happy to do that.
I do, because they're going to be the experts. So
So all of our
Yeah.
RFIs, any questions we have, we'll send to
Correct.
Civil Tech
And
and then
just
they can
CC
talk
me.
to you.
yeah,
We'll CC
yeah,
Kathy.
Okay.
and probably Angie, because she's our construction liaison with the county and all
Okay.
that. So yeah.
Mohave County, you guys wanna introduce?
Yeah, I'm Randy Greenwich, the flood control district engineer. We're managing the finances on this.
Yeah, I'm Catherine Fish with Flood Control. We're part of the ARPA funding for the project.
Okay, great. Okay. Survey, we got Civil Tech, Jesse, are you gonna be our prime contact for if we do need stakes?
For now, I'm the one doing stakes.
Okay.
So they'll
Well, we
probably
can send it to all of you.
As-built too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ben's the manager. We could send stuff to him first on emails and that type of thing, but then day to day, I'll be your guy.
Perfect.
All the required as-built.
And maybe just to clarify there, there's two Ben T's that you're dealing with here. I'm Ben Townsend. I'm the project engineer, and Ben Tillman is the survey manager.
Okay.
Just a heads up, because there's some confusion sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
The two Ben T's in the same office.
Only one way.
Okay, we'll try not to mess that up. So geotech, we'll provide the geotech on this. We have Strytech that's going to be doing all the geotech for all the compaction testing. Make sure, after we put the pipe in, it's got proper bedding, and, compaction of the earth all the way to finished grade. The utility agencies, we didn't really know all the utility agencies out here. We know, of course, the water district, and we know that you guys have some new communication lines out here as well. So we are going to call in a blue stake for 2nd Street and any of the areas that we're going to be trenching in. And then once we get callbacks from the utility companies, we'll probably have a smaller little pre-con on site with them, just a white line where we think we're going to be trenching throughout the whole project. So that way we're not tearing through their utilities as well. Any questions on introductions? Anybody got anything else on that?
We're good.
All right, so safety, we will have, a foreman here every day. We are very high on our safety. The last few years, it's probably brought up to a higher level with our company than we've ever seen before, just because we've been on state projects for the last 2.5 years, and they require a level that, is very high standard. So that will be one main goal of ours. Make sure nobody out here gets hurt. We will have a safety program that we'll send to you guys that just kind of addresses how we do our safety in the field, and then kind of just shows some highlights of where the closest hospital is. If somebody does get hurt, what we'd send to you all, that way you guys know. That way, everybody knows what's going on throughout the project. But, the normal things, vest, hard hats, glasses, boots, that sort of thing. So speed control through the projects, traffic control. We will have Quail Corp design a traffic control plan that we'll send to the county for approval, and that'll include a right-of-way permit that we'll get at the same process. So that'll be just one thing that you guys will be able to see. There will be a traffic control plan. It will kind of move as we're moving along, but it will be basically the same, and it'll move as we're moving along with the project. And but if everybody can help, just to make sure nobody's speeding through the job, or everybody knows that, hey, they're going to be working in this area. There will be open trenches during the day. They'll barricade and fence off anything that's going to stay open overnight, and that sort of thing. That way nobody gets hurt.
We will try to close most trenches every night, but there are times and times where
Right.
you can't.
I'll put something on Facebook that tends to get around town the quickest, so I'll keep them updated on Facebook to watch out and be careful.
We'll have orange fencing around any open holes generally, and or at bare minimum, large amounts of caution tape / danger tape. Maybe just word in that, in my personal opinion. People have kids around here, stuff like that. Have them understand if they see an orange fence set up
Stay away.
or caution tape, something like that, keep the kids away. It's all bright and shiny.
So we're moving into the summer. Hydration for all of our guys is a major thing. Even for any of you all coming out to the project, we have had engineers come out to our job just to do job walks in Havasu, and they've gone out to the job and been there for an hour, and they've fallen out before too. So it's a major thing for us. Just everybody, summer's coming. So site logistics. 2nd Street, I guess, at some point maybe we can figure out where's the best place for us to park and where it's not gonna affect a lot of homeowners and whatnot, where we're not upsetting anybody by parking in a wrong area that could affect a business and or a homeowner. If there's a designated area, if you guys can let us know, that'd be great.
What do you guys think? Right there by the park? Be probably the closest for them?
Yeah,
That they get area right
or they
away?
could, or they could park right behind,
The water right here.
Yeah,
the water department.
this whole lot
Okay.
over here is not being,
That's
yeah.
right.
And if you have big
So
pieces
either
of
way.
equipment. But if you're working down at the other end of the road, that flat spot just after the cattle guards, is BLM, and a lot of people just park out there and camp, but it's just flat, there's no bushes. You can park out there if you're working down there,
Okay.
just a work truck or something.
Sure, okay. So that kind of will go hand in hand with a temporary yard for just the pipe and fittings that we can set up? Is
How
that
much-
Yeah, you can do that
still
right over here.
At the water department?
By the water
Yeah.
department.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
gonna be
will,
more secure than probably anywhere else.
and is that fully fenced?
No.
Okay. So we do have temporary panels that, I think we will bring out if you guys are okay with us setting up just
Yeah.
temporary fencing. And then
And
we
Malcolm
can,
can show you where, right,
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of room to move around back there.
Oh, yeah.
2
Most-
acres.
Mostly just need to be able to pull trucks in, have machines, be able to pick stuff up, move it.
Oh,
around.
yeah, that's not a problem.
so water access to construction water. Where do you all think our best point of connection would be to be able to use, fill a water truck or tow behind, Water Buffalo?
We have several fire hydrants in town that are usable for that purpose.
Okay. Now, can we get a meter from you all or
Yes.
not? Yeah, so is there an application that we need to go through to get that?
Do you think we need to? No, I don't think so. We won't.
So we'll just document what meter we
Yeah.
have, the reading,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the job will,
Yeah,
This will be supplied by you guys?
yeah.
Okay, no, okay.
We'll have to set it up.
Mhm.
okay, so Porta Johns dumpsters, probably have one at the temporary yard, and then one in the areas that we're working. Do you guys have a local, somebody that does dumpsters and whatnot, or
West side.
Yeah, west side is.
West Side does that? Okay.
Yeah, we'll call Toby's Lake.
Okay. Toby's Life.
Lorena. She works
All right. So schedule and start time. So I guess that's kind of open to us to discuss. All the materials are available to ship.
Summer's coming.
Yeah, we want to get the hard part done before it gets hard or too hot here, and so we would like to start very quickly.
Whenever you want.
Tomorrow?
We're thinking 5 o'clock in the morning would be fine.
That's a serious question though, as far as noise and that type of stuff around here. What would you guys consider to be a feasible?
Working time.
It
Like,
depends on
start making
where,
noise.
are you gonna start down at the far end?
We're gonna go through, so kind of our schedule is to obviously mow equipment here, mow pipe here, which will be a week. And then right after that, the second week, we would pothole all of the utilities that we may have to cross. And that way we know how deep to lay our pipe, or if we see that something is not per the plan or whatnot. That way we can visually see everything that's underground if we have to go under it, however it may be.
Connections.
So the first week or so, give or take, will kind of be a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be exploratory the first week throughout the whole project. And then, once we have that, then we'll develop a, what building? You wanna go wave out there for Jared?
Yeah. Just tell them, go to the bank.
Once we know where all the utilities all are, we'll develop a 2-week look-ahead schedule. And that way you guys always know the sequence of what we're doing. We will, prior to that, we will create a master schedule. That's gonna be subject to change, obviously, after we do the potholing and whatnot. So I'll try to get that schedule out this week to Civil Tech and to the board here. But really, I would like to start moving in pipe and everything next week, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, bring it.
Okay.
I do have a question. You were asking for hours. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say 6, but is there like a period of time when you think you're gonna be like the loudest? Because, I mean, there are obviously residents lining that street.
Yeah.
I would think that for the most part, you guys should be able to start at 6. but-
Okay, yeah, usually the first hour is not very loud. but
Okay.
then From 7 to 2 p.m.,
Okay,
it'll be loud.
okay.
Yeah, 'cause it's light at 6 o'clock in the morning right now.
Yeah.
Well, summer schedules are usually a little earlier, but
Yeah.
we'll buy it for 6.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say 6 to 3. Can you find them?
Yeah, it's also,
So 6 to 3 schedule.
Okay.
What do you feel about weekends if we were to want to?
Yeah, I think the residents are more excited about just getting it done, so I'm sure they're probably not gonna have a problem. You have your finger more on the pulse, you two, than I do, Angie and Ron, so what do you guys think?
Well, we're having an
Saturday's
all-town yard sale on Saturday, May 3rd.
Okay.
So that day probably wouldn't be a good day to do any digging or anything.
Yeah.
But other than that, we have nothing going on till June.
Sure.
Yeah, you just let us know if you have something going on, we won't come in, but sometimes we want to
Yeah.
get ahead of some things.
If you guys have some special events, or, you know, a calendar of special events that you guys have, let us know, you know, email that to us. And that way we can just work around maybe doing other activities on those days.
When's our next parade?
Probably not until September.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough.
Everybody who didn't see Jared here, this is Jared Lish.
Jared,
Nice to meet you.
He'll be running the cruise. He's done a lot of water lines throughout the state. He's doing 2 big ones in Lake Havasu for us. So he'll-
Civil Tech is behind you.
Arnie's Laser, the engineer.
Oh. Sorry, that thing that's sat in front of you.
We're good.
Um,
I got a general question about the project start time and, typically you might see a sign, project sign that's with contact information where you can get feedback from, residents. And maybe this is a question for Angie and Kathy maybe too, is what's your thoughts on if somebody's bothered by starting at 6 o'clock, is there some way that they can contact, Chloride Water or the contractor themselves?
I'll throw something on Facebook, get an opinion poll on it.
I think that is something in the past that when we have been on WIFA projects, that it is a WIFA sign requirement. And so
Okay.
maybe we'll just proactively do that and make a sign.
Okay.
And I think it's in the construction documents. If not in your guys's, it's usually in a lot of WIFA.
Okay.
I don't know
Is
what
this-
WIPA is.
WIFA?
WIPA?
Is this a WIPA project?
Yeah, this is WIFA, correct?
I have no idea.
No, I think it's ARPA.
ARPA.
Yeah, it's
ARPA.
ARPA.
That's gonna be my
Okay.
question, because we've
Okay.
done a lot of WIFAs before, and WIFA actually
Okay.
has
I was gonna say, I didn't think it was.
specifications and requirements for signage on the project. Do you guys know if you have anything like that
I
that
just
we're
made
not
a
aware
note,
of?
I'll find out.
Okay.
later.
Okay.
So it's ARPA.
ARPA.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All these abbreviations,
Acronyms.
yeah. Getting more and more nowadays. But we'll look into that signage, and it probably is just a good idea to go ahead and do, just in case.
We'll make something, we just wanna make sure that if they have some requirements that we don't know
Yeah.
about, that we can put all of them.
Right.
I have a feeling there wasn't because we just finished a sewer construction in Kingman and there was no signage there.
Okay. Yeah, might have been a WIFA thing. Moving on to manpower. What are we gonna have here? 8 to 10 guys?
Yes,
Daily?
probably 5, yeah, probably just the main line and then the service guys running behind with the laterals and stuff.
Yeah, about 8 to 10 people working. We will have flaggers here when we are crossing the roads. Traffic control set up. Road plates, we probably will have some road plates in some scenarios, so we'll have bump signs out there on the road plates, that way everybody knows to slow down a little bit and take it easy. The equipment on site, generally, we're not gonna have anything large on this project. It's gonna be smaller excavators and whatnot, mid-sized to smaller excavators. At the end of the day, we'll just pull everything off to the shoulder, cone it off. If you guys are okay with that, instead of tracking everything back to the yard and getting mud everywhere, we'll try to keep everything right on to where we're working. We can work, you know, I think that's open to, if you guys don't have anything going on, if that is the case, you know, if there's nothing major, you know, if we need to get something done, maybe speed things up, let's make sure we coordinate with everybody if we're gonna do that. Time frame to complete the work, Will, did you have that still, as far as the dates? I think this is a 90-day calendar, is that right, guys?
So we had, we'll need to coordinate that with Angie. I think we've got, I mean, the whole thing is contingent on the ARPA funding.
Okay.
And we need to make sure that we meet their deadlines. Is the end of the year that's still,
Yes.
The 2026.
great?
January 2026? Or
No.
December,
December.
December 30, yeah.
December 26th.
Oh, December
Of 26.
26, so there's
Yeah.
plenty of time.
Yes.
We're not gonna wait that long.
No.
Please don't, you guys
No, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but
No.
I think in the project specs, it is a 90-day project.
Yeah,
But again, it is contingent on having everything cut, wrapped, and frozen so that we can make sure everybody gets paid before
Okay.
the grant expires.
okay. So like I was saying, we'll submit a master schedule and we'll make it meet within those 90 days.
Do as close as we can, yeah.
And then our first week after potholing, if we see anything that looks different, we'll let you guys know what we see.
And also, those are those extras that some others do.
Oh, okay, hang on, we'll get to
We'll
that.
get to that, yeah.
So, testing and connections, you know, once we have all our main line and our piping in the ground, we'll obviously do a high pressure test, chlorination test, and then a bacteria test. I guess the one thing that kind of goes both ways sometimes is who's gonna sample the back T, if it's the engineer or if it's us, and how you guys wanna do that.
Typically, we like to observe all of these tests, but we would watch you perform them and then watch you take the sample
Okay,
for the disinfection.
okay. So,
Making sure that pressure tests are done in a closed system before any tie-ins happen.
okay. Bacteria lab, what lab would we be going to?
Bullhead.
Bullhead City Lab,
Yeah, it's a Mojave.
Mojave Environmental.
Yes,
okay.
and I like them because you can turn them in on Friday, you want to get answers on Saturdays, which helps out sometimes. But yeah, that's the closest place to it.
So after we do have passing tests, so let me ask you this, once we do have our back T test, does this have to go to ADQ before we connect?
That is a good question.
Seems to
I
go
think
both
the way
ways.
that we wrote it into the specs is that ADQ would need to have approval to operate the system, which I think is the safest path. So yes, we should have approval to operate down ADQ before we start making the tile works.
Okay, so we deal with ADQ quite a bit. You know, turnaround time's usually been 2 to 3 weeks on a lot of stuff that we do.
Right.
So if we do get to that point, if we can just have a pause maybe on the contract time of, you know, it's out of our hands, ADQ's, you know, going over the as-built and the tests, and once they do grant us, you know, that, then we'd start back up, and then that go into our shutdowns and connections.
Yeah, that's very reasonable.
Okay. So, with that said, after all passing tests for the shutdowns, we'll get with the water district, and then we'll just figure out a good game plan of who's going to be affected by the shutdown for the connections. And then if we just know who's going to be affected, we'll go through and hand out flyers to them. What do we do, 24 or 48? 48 hour notice?
Lyle, you'll be involved with that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Um,
He's the contact person.
Yeah.
Also, we generally pump up to our tank, supply our tank every morning from did you change
Starts
it or
at
is it
9:30.
At
I can
9:30.
adjust the clocks though, depending on what's
But we'll
needed.
just kind of need to know so we can keep the tank full.
Yes.
Okay. And so maybe that's one thing we do want to look at every day is how much water we're pulling, Jared, just so you can let them know, like, hey, on a normal day, we're using 1,000 gallons.
We also have one more criteria, and that's that we have the quarry. And there's been times that they've pulled thousands of gallons at a time, so that's also.
Do they coordinate with you when they do that? Or do
They've
they just open
been-
the valve and go?
They have a fire hydrant down there with their own meter. I can reach out, I know the owner of Kalamazoo / Rock Pros, so I can see if we can get a little bit tighter on that.
Yeah.
Depending on how often you're gonna need to use water. I don't know if that's
Every day.
every
It would
day.
it would be nice if you're able to coordinate with them and they're willing
Yeah,
to give you at least a day heads up notice. That way we can kind of know and start managing that, because
Too low.
if
I'll
it
take-
happens unknown and we go to fill a water truck
Yeah.
or something and there's no water,
right.
then basically that could shut the whole, if we're doing backfilling and compaction, stuff like that, it can't be done without water.
Right, okay. So maybe I'll take a drive out there, get the foreman's name and number and give it to you so that
Okay.
you can coordinate with them
That'd
too.
probably actually be
Why
easier.
can't we just, you know,
You can coordinate the pumps and turn the pumps on sooner and everything else.
sooner and later, or, and then maybe we would have to do it again in the evening for a certain period of time.
But I think if they're both drawing that much water at a time, that might be an
Well,
issue, I don't
we
know.
won't be drawing a ton.
Okay,
We'll probably be using 4,000 gallons a day.
Roughly.
okay.
Roughly, yeah.
That's what
Okay.
they have, so.
It's not that.
How big's your tank?
52,000.
You guys know an average usage daily out of that tank amongst the community?
No,
We use about
off the top of my head.
In the summertime, it's gonna
Half
be
a
about
tank?
25,000.
A day?
Half a tank or so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just moving on, we kind of went through this already, our geotech will be StriTech,
Okay.
so we'll have to schedule with them. I believe we're just using MAG standards on intervals of testing on everything, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
So, and you guys aren't representing the county road department as far as any of that, right? Okay.
No.
Okay, so we will put a call out to them. Sometimes the county wants to see slurry when we cross the road.
I think that,
that.
We discussed that,
They said they were gonna go without it, we just
passing test.
pass the test, see below asphalt.
Okay.
I'm positive.
Mark checked into that, yes, you're correct.
If we do have any, so the bedding material, I know you guys had kind of brought that up too. Is that still something you guys want to try to do? That you guys have a stockpile of bedding material?
we have a lot.
Yeah, you got a whole mountain over there full of.
Maybe.
I think it's just half-inch minus or so?
Quarter minus.
Quarter minus.
Or less.
So
Have something to load up there with, or we can
we'll have StriTech come and sample that.
sample it.
So we'll have our geotech sample that bedding, and that way we can send off to the engineers of what, you know, the sieve of it, and that way, because it may not fall within max spec, but between the engineer and you guys, if you guys.
It is decomposed granite.
Okay, yeah, GG, so.
Then they can get Proctor too for compaction.
Yeah, we definitely need that.
So as far as inspections on Civil Tech side, is what do you guys want to see periodically or daily? Do you guys want to see all joints, all thrust blocks, or what sort of thing? Just because.
Other thrust balls? Everything was mega log.
Okay.
No thrust ball,
You have?
but you need bell restraints or maybe in some areas.
I think, yeah, we're trying to remember if it was fully restrained or if we had brush blocks up there.
I think it's restrained.
On the map, it shows there.
I believe it's restrained too, and we'll have a look, but even if that is the case, do you guys want to see
I
their,
think what we'd be interested in is creating a valid set of as-built plans.
okay,
You know, and that's really what we're most worried about. I don't think that we need to see every joint or every water service connection. But we do need to see system, if there is a system high point, maybe if we're crossing other utilities, maybe, you know, because of the time it takes us to get there, maybe a photograph in coordination with Ray would be enough.
okay,
Water sewer separation, I don't think it'll be too big of an issue because I don't believe there's any sewer out there.
correct,
But just kind of
Yeah.
what you'd expect.
okay. So any conflicts, utility conflicts, any high points, you know, that are not per the plan, there needs to be an ARV. And if we end up having to shift horizontally, if we find, you know, their pipe too close to ours.
Something that we've done in the past, you know, with other contractors on distant jobs like this is, you know, sometimes if you put a little stick of PVC,
Yep.
and or PVC on the top of your pipe, that we can actually shoot the top of the pipe so that we don't have to be out there
Yeah,
all day, every day doing as-bills.
okay.
You know, maybe, I don't know, Ben, what are you thinking? Once a week, twice a week, maybe we could get out there?
Kind of thinking 2 days a week, every week until, yeah,
Okay,
it's done.
that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just generally, I mean, your trench, just get a good familiarity with you since we have work with you.
Yep.
So we just following, you know, typical trench detail, bedding, piping, compaction, and your tests are gonna show that too.
Correct.
I mean, tell your guy, if he does have a failed test, report it, just put a passing test over the top of it.
Okay,
We're looking at page 53, it's a 60 calendar day contract.
okay.
I was not on that, 60, not 90.
That's a little tight, but we'll,
We'll work with you.
yeah, we'll,
There's some 10 days in there is for weather too, so.
right.
Well, all 60 days is gonna be hotter than hot. Is that considered weather?
It should be.
If we have any excess material, if there's, you know, a few loads of dirt that's left over, is there, you know, if we want to put the word out to anybody, if they need dirt on their lot or whatnot, or anybody needs it, we'll truck it, however, whatever works the best for everybody.
Thank you.
So we're not.
It's on you.
Did you say you did have a sewer system installed?
No, there is no sewer.
No?
No sewers at all.
So the other thing is we just want to make sure we're all working off the approved plan date.
I've got a stamp, Benjamin Townsend, 7/8/24.
That is it.
7/8/24.
Yep, that is it.
That's the approved.
Look at that.
Final submittal.
And then did we have any addendums that changed anything on? And we'll double check too.
I'll look right now.
Seems like, I mean, you already gave us a submittal, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think we went through that. I think there was a little bit of back and forth with the county about maybe a trench detail, if I remember that right. But I don't recall any, well, here we go. Yeah, that was the bid that they took. Yeah, I think,
Oh, within 90 days.
oh, there it is.
Yeah, number 3 of the addendum is 90 days. Here we are. The document says high water pipeline, special pipe gate copper, revised to polyethylene water service, we changed that. Yeah, so there are some items on here.
Okay, but no plan change addendums really that,
No, not.
change the direction of
Line
it.
efficiency.
Pipe and stuff like that.
Okay.
Clarificate what we can use. So I think all those are in the submittals and approved.
Okay,
Wasn't there just an adjustment on the actual?
As long as,
application?
what's in there is shown up on the site, we're good.
okay.
Everything's magnitude, right? Surfaces.
Everything's mag.
So application for payments, is there a preferred date that we submit?
That's us,
That would be Kathy.
me and Kat. But we don't, I don't think we have,
At the end of the month, so if you could get it to us, a week or so before that, we can include it in our invoices to the county. So,
it doesn't matter. Ben, do you want to do it that way? I mean, I guess,
Or do we go with directly?
So here's the thing, is like, usually we would submit a pay application and it's an AIA similar type of form that lists out every little bid item. Usually we'd send it to the engineer and the engineer would say, yes,
that's what's
they've
happening.
installed a
Right.
1,000 foot of pipe
Okay,
and that's what, and then from there, I think the engineer would say, yeah, we're okay with their quantities, and then it would be up to you guys to
Okay.
process, right? Is that how you guys see it? or not?
that works for me. Then we know that it's been approved by the engineer. Yeah, okay. We'll do
Is that
that,
good?
so it'll be once a month.
Yeah.
Right, they always submit it once a month, so.
Okay, and so usually, like, all of our other pay apps are the 20th, and then, I mean, deadline, last day is the 25th, but usually we're pretty good about hitting the 20th every time, so.
Does that work for you, Ben? The 20?
that would work for us.
Okay.
And do we know a turnaround time on payment?
They've been so awesome about getting us paid within like 7 working days, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna depend on when it gets to us.
Yeah.
When it
Yeah,
comes from you, when it
I
gets to
know.
us, and then, because we have a lead time or whatever, but, yeah, it
If
should.
you guys pay under 30 days, it's better than 90% of any other.
We'll do that.
they're way, way under
Aim
that.
for the sky, 7
Yeah.
days.
Let's give me 14.
Maybe we'll get a discount.
Yeah, we're gonna try very hard for the discount every time, so.
Yeah, because there was a discount for, was it, I'd have to look back at what we put in there, was it 7 days, is that
I
what it
think
was?
so, yeah.
And what was the percentage of discount, do you remember?
Half.
What was it, 15, I think? 10 or 15? Maybe
I'll
no.
look.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not been that high at all, I don't know.
It's gonna be tight.
Yeah, I
It's gonna
know.
go From them to you, to me. to
Right,
downtown,
no, I know it will.
And then back to you to pay them.
Fortunately, for all the electronic stuff, we might just be able to figure out how to pay you
You guys wanna
online
do
so
it
that
direct?
it's instant.
That's fine.
Because that's how they pay us, so,
Okay.
What's the ACH?
yeah.
You want-
Would
you
it
need
be,
the banking information, Kathy?
I'm sorry?
You would need the banking information.
Yeah. I have to talk with our credit union, though, they're a little behind the times, so I'm not sure what we can work out that way. Would a check being delivered to superintendent, would that work?
Yeah.
That would work for you? Okay, so if that push comes to shove, we can do it that way then.
Okay. Anything else on payment, invoicing?
Cover anything with road closures?
Maybe,
Were you raising your hand?
Nah, just moving.
All right.
I've got something, I mean, the grant has, it's a limited amount of money. And I think we tried to create a couple of bid alternatives that we thought would use the most amount of money. So, and maybe Angie or Kathy can chime in on this too. We would like to use all of the money that has been allotted to us as best we can. And so if there is, we start getting towards the end of this project and maybe you got some discounts or we've been able to find something, is there any provision for us to be able to say, well, shoot, we can do a little bit more work here, because we've got a little bit of extra money left?
We are kind of waiting for Mike.
Michael Swettle, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
'cause
gonna
we-
do some telemetry stuff.
Yeah, we'd like to improve our telemetry system, so that's gonna take a little bit of the money. But yeah, we've
Okay.
kind of been talking, Drew and I, about that, about a balance remaining. Over by that stove, there's an
That white
extension.
power strip is hot.
Sorry guys,
We're moving it.
And actually, interfering with the non calendar dates.
Yeah.
So you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think
that's a general thing, I guess, on that. We do have a lot of big amount of money, we like to, and the benefit of fluoride, use as much of that as possible.
Correct.
Sounds like you guys have already been talking along this line.
Yeah, so Mike's been working on the SCADA quote. He has it all put together.
Okay, good.
The one thing that he's double checking is the tariffs on
Ah.
anything. Because he
Okay.
had it put together last week. So
we
now
got
he's,
yours.
we just received a 30% increase for all of our imported goods for pipe last night. So you guys are good, because we ordered all this
While ago.
a while ago, and we tried to do that on all of our jobs, but yeah, that is the case for a lot of things right now.
But no, this stuff's been ordered right on Mike's side.
This is all crazy shit.
On Mike's side?
Not on the SCADA side.
Yeah.
So, but the SCADA, it wasn't an substantial amount of money. I think it was, the original quote from the Brian was like $20,000.
Okay.
So, and I
So we
really
have
don't,
some money to work with then.
yeah,
That's my ring.
so. Other than that,
I
any,
just wanna go over one thing real quick, so. We're going Hercules to
Tennessee.
Tennessee tie-in, the 3-inch tie-in in Tennessee. That's where we're going right now, as
3
it
inch?
is.
I think it's 6 on Tennessee.
Let's see. We're gonna go past the
Well,
intersection.
it's 6
Oh,
in Tennessee,
oh,
and
Go
then
okay.
past the intersection, go through
Okay.
the intersection.
And then
and
that
tie
does
in
go
about
down.
3 inches or less.
Okay.
tie-in. That's where I'm at, that's where you guys are at.
Sounds
That's
right.
what we're doing.
yeah, that's correct.
Perfect. We gotta get these big old things out.
Good thing you unrolled that, Will.
Yeah, I got the wrong plans, everybody's paying attention, we do the wrong plans.
So the 4 endpoints are in right now, you can find those if you want, and then,
Hercules?
yes, on Hercules,
Cool.
and then we can talk specifics on staking if you want.
Yeah.
15-foot offsets.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to do that after the meeting, we can maybe just kind of walk it a little bit. I think on our end, we're pretty good if I don't think we have too many questions left.
I don't know if the construction at the park, I know that they're gonna, those cars are gonna be gone because they're gonna put handicap parking signs on that side of the park. And then I think they're planning on doing the bathrooms like the end of this month. So they'll just have to have access, but I don't think you'll be that far along by then.
Right. We'll make sure, we'll try to keep it as tight as possible with our backfilling to where if we leave anything open overnight, it might just be the end of the pipe we're gonna start with the next morning, and that'd be about it.
Yeah.
You're talking about throughout the day, no access?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be pretty easy to maintain. Yeah.
Yeah, given some of the jobs we're doing right now, maintaining access, pretty easy.
Yeah. Civil Tech, you guys got anything more you can think of?
Sounded like you were gonna go over staking specifics with Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Just wanted an idea of where to start and what offsets you want and all that good stuff.
Okay.
But you-
We'll go over it with Jesse, and then we'll shoot you an email as well, just kind of where we'd like to start with the survey.
Perfect. Sounds good.
I don't think we had anything else, did we? I think Jesse will probably be our primary contact out there, and we'll be doing the staking and hopefully some of the test observations, but Ray might come out occasionally as well.
Okay.
Is this a per Mac here?
What?
Native, yeah.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I'm not sure I'm understanding, you're saying you're gonna start bringing stuff out next week, like for the whole week, and then potholing the week after, and then possibly starting the week after that? Is
Correct.
that- Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I don't know, do you guys want to have a official notice to proceed? Because if so, maybe if we could start that on our first day of potholing.
That's what our 90 days.
And I think you guys did give us a notice to proceed. That
Yeah.
way we were able to secure the parts,
Oh, okay.
you know, and that was kind of just, hey, which was very wise to do at the time because now we see where we're at.
Yeah.
So maybe we do get an official notice to proceed to start that 90-day calendar
Talk clock.
in 2 weeks
Okay.
from now. And we'll give you a good date, 21st.
Well, that's Easter Monday.
Oh,
No, but they're just doing that as.
Essentially.
so the 22nd would probably be.
22nd notice?
Starts at that date, otherwise.
That'll start the clock.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. You ready, Jared?
Yeah.
All right.
Here's good, get out of here.
So, all of us live in the Yucca area, so we're not too awful far away. And then my father lives in Kingman. 30% of our workforce is in Kingman.
Basically.
So,
I'll take you on that. Take Bullhead, Kingman, and push it half, that's it.
with that, I think we're good. Thank you, guys. Oh, go ahead.
One question.
Yeah.
Are you guys planning to do any like weekly or bi-weekly progress meetings?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
So maybe on Civil Tech, do you guys want to do weekly or bi-weekly meetings?
I think, well, we can, I think initially, yes. Whether that's meeting with Jesse out there or us, at least till we get things rolling.
We could just do it in the office as long as it's afternoon-ish.
Okay. So do you guys want to
That
have a
quiet
day?
and easy to-
Tuesdays are really, really bad for us to do any type of meetings.
Thursdays?
Thursdays are really good.
I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
Thursdays, yes.
You wanna-
Thursday,
Start that, what, after the first week or so?
2? Thursday at 2?
2? Thursday at 2 p.m.?
Weekly
We have
meeting.
a
Are you guys okay with that, Civil Tech?
list to be involved with. I have a like a weekly agenda.
May 1st?
First meeting.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Do you guys want to send that invite out or you want us to?
Let it do.
Okay.
Well, I'm good with tailgate too.
Okay. Well, we'll do an invite for the first, because it is hard to get Wi-Fi here, I guess, so yeah, we'll just do tailgate, because I don't really see us being able to get Wi-Fi throughout every scenario here. So tailgate every Thursday.
Yeah, our office has Starlink too.
Okay.
So, yeah, you shouldn't have any issues.
Well, then
with
we
that.
will send out the invite for a Teams meeting, and then, yeah, we'll just plan on being at the office, and then if we want to go to the field from there, we can.
Okay.
Thursdays at 2. Sounds great.
Every week was it, or every other week?
Every week.
Every week?
Every
Okay.
week, and then if we see that there's no need at some point, you know, because there probably will be that at some point, and then we'll scale it
Okay.
back.
When do you want to start doing that?
May 1st.
May 1st, okay. Okay.
Is there any other permits that you guys see necessary? We're gonna have the county permit. Other than that, that's all we know we need.
That's okay.
I think that's it. All right. Well, with that, yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Hey, thank you, Silver Tech.
If there's no more questions from anybody, then we need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Jane.
Thank you, Ryan. Meeting's adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.